Racing Update is brought to you by Bet365, the world's favourite online betting brand.
Chances are you're about to lose.
Shayne from the Daily Telegraph joins us here trackside. What a treat to have you here with us this morning, Shayne.
Thank you so much, Julie. Morning, Timmy. What a fantastic day it is here to be at the Everest, as in the weather played its part, because there was always the potential we could have a wet one, but like we did in the first couple of years. But as you mentioned, it's a beautiful day. The track's going to be in fantastic order. I don't think the horses will have any excuses regarding the track, but gee, the way the race will be run, that's going to be interesting.
Everything that we thought was going to happen hasn't happened. Like take us through it. Everything's turned on its head, but that's the way of the sport.
Absolutely. With such a long build-up to the race, it's kind of like a football grand final at the end of the season, and lots of things can happen in between. Look, who would have thought Nature Strip would leave us, be retired? Eduardo went on the same day. Giga Kick, I was fully expecting that horse to be here and defend the trophy, but he's not going to be here after what happened in the McEwen. Craig Williams, I wasn't expecting to be here, but he's here, and he's riding, look, albeit an outsider and alcohol-free, but what can you say about Gay Waterhouse? I mean, she could pull the ultimate rabbit out of a hat with a horse that has won 4 Group 1s and was once the champion. And if they're talking about her running last, then I've got no idea who's going to win.
Let's take a look at the field now. It is quite an open field, probably the most open we've seen in the 7-year history of this race. I do believe we've got the graphics. We can take a look at that now. We've got I Wish I Win in there. Think about it. Hawaii 5-0, Cylinder, Marzu, Espiona, Overpass, Timmy.
Yeah, Overpass with the ATC. Shinzo, of course, is with Coolmore, and last time we saw Shinzo first up. It'll be interesting to see how it goes today. They had an impressive trial. Private Eye, the storming finish last year. Bonus not just alcohol-free in secret. How do you find a winner?
Well, I think in previous years there has necessarily been at least one standout horse. And when you talk about Nature Strip, when Nature Strip was here, even to some extent Classic Legend was very well fancied to win the race. But
particularly Les, because Les declared it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think there are at least 10 horses that can win, possibly even 12. It will all come down to the best ride, and and it will come down to the pace of the race. That is going to be ultimately significant because they will go fast, but just how fast? I mean, you've got to remember they ran a course record here at Randwick a few years back, but does Overpass need to run a course record to win? We know he's going to lead, but it's going to come down to how much pressure is applied to Overpass and how much pressure he can sustain. And I'm pretty sure he can sustain a lot of pressure, but it's going to also affect horses behind him. If Overpass does happen to stop, what happens to the horses behind him? One of those being I Wish I Win.
Well, of course, on Tuesday night we had the barrier draw. The barrier draw is always spectacular. Sydney Harbour this year aboard a super yacht, the Jackson, and there was a lot of nervous energy because we know how much this draw can really impact this race and change the dynamic of the race. What did you make of the draw this year? How has it changed?
Well, I think it changed dramatically. As far as I was concerned when I saw it, it was advantage Bjorn Baker and slight worries for Peter Moody because we know Overpass is going to lead. I've said it numerous times. Everyone knows he's going to lead. But I Wish I Win was the horse that we know will have the fastest finish in the race. And look, barrier 1 is not ideal. I think they would have preferred 12. I know I would have because that way the horse is guaranteed to get to the outside. But look, with such a big purse on offer, they are going to fan across the track. I mean, I would be surprised if they weren't at least 5 across the track, maybe even 6 or 7 abreast up the rise. So you would think that Luke Nolan, I mean, he's ridden Black Caviar 25 times in a row and won, so he never made a mistake on her on the big occasion. If he gets the breaks, I think I Wish I Win will be the horse to come through late.
Tell us how it's all going to finish. We saw Darren Flindell yesterday, and I read your article this morning, how he had Overpass on top. How does, ladies and gentlemen, the challenge to the male model from Miranda, you're looking absolutely resplendent today. How does it finish in the Everest?
Well, I see Overpass leading up the rise. I Wish I Win getting a late split coming through, and the other horse Think About It right there as he always is, and Private Eye in for 4th. Buenos Noches, a gallant run for 5th.
There you have it.
There you have it.
We'll play that back next week. Look, another huge race today is, of course, the Kosciuszko, the $2 million race for the country-trained horses. I love this concept. I love the stories that come out of this as well, and what an incredible field we have this year for the race.
This is, without a doubt, the best Kosciuszko field that we've had since it's been first run. There are horses in here that are group horses. And they're not country horses, they just happen to be trained in the country, but they are top level. We've got an unbeaten horse in Mogo Magic. he's very much in the Overpass sort of sphere that he'll be leading, and a lot of people are questioning whether he'll run a strong 1200. Well, he's going to be put to the test today because these horses for $2 million will be absolutely flying the whole way. You've got last year's winner here, Front Page, who's trialled brilliantly in the lead up to this. There are fewer chances in the Kosciuszko, but I think it's a better field than we've seen since the race has first been run.
Now we're seeing Nick Chirone's done a fantastic job here again with the King Charles. It's worth a lazy 100k. The race, look, it's a fantastic race itself, and I suppose the story, the subplot to this story is Zaki and Annabelle Neesham and his fitness.
Well, the good news is Zaki's been cleared fit to run. He was in a little bit of, had a few issues yesterday with an elevated white blood cell count, but thankfully he's here, which would have been sad if he was out because, of course, we lost the horse to a scratching on Cox Plate Day 2 years ago, but all that's in the past. He's here, he's ready to run, he's in good form. The horse to beat, obviously, is Mr. Brightside. He's been to Randwick twice, and he won the Doncaster twice, so the Doncaster is the preeminent mile race until this one came along at Randwick, so I think most punters are thinking that Mr. Brightside going to continue his winning way. He's been the form line superior in Australia around that sort of distance for quite a while now.
Shayne, you and I were having a close look at this trophy just before we came on air, and we see the blank canvas here. Whoever wins this race today does really write themselves into the record books with this inaugural event. What has been, from your perspective, the reaction to this race and the need for this race on this card, on this Everest day?
Well, the mile is, for a lot of racing pundits, the ultimate distance. It's the ultimate test of a horse's speed and stamina. So personally, as a racing purist, I do like to see these great milers go around, and there is no better place to run a mile than here at Randwick. It's the most famous start in Australian racing.
Well, tell us who's going to win then. Tell us your first, second, third, well, and I want to get your Kosciuszko prediction because we're running out of time.
All right, well, I've got to stop tipping favourites, but I do think Mr. Brightside will win. As I said, he's the best miler I've seen since Superimpose at Randwick anyway, so hopefully Craig Williams can get him across the line. And look, in the Kosciuszko, very hard race, but I think Luke Pepper, Takeover Target's former jockey rider in track work, will be winning it with Opal Reed. She's a tremendous filly. She's got the best turn of foot, and she's got J-Mac.
Shayne O'Cass, you enjoy your day from the Daily Telegraph, and we'll play all that back to you next week.
Let's hope not.
This racing update is brought to you by Bet365, the world's favourite online betting brand.
Chances are you're about to lose.